Friends, can any one of us imagine stepping out of a house, even going to the nearby market without any money in our pocket? I don't think so. Or without planning for the day. Now imagine someone who is without any planning, or maybe planning, yes, but not thinking about the money, has traveled 34 countries over 180,000 kilometers on a bike. Friends, meet this amazing person. I have with me Alina. Hi Alina.
Hello. Namaskar.
Namaskar. She is a free thinker, an actor, a drama therapist. She is from Romania and she's also been staying in Italy for the last 10-12 years. Alina, this is incredible, I mean, I just cannot even imagine someone doing this. So obviously the next question, why? Why, Alina, why?
Why not? Why? Because I found my way. I found that this is for the moment my path, and this is the best way to live my life in this moment. I discovered the road, and then I discovered that the road is my home. And when I was going back home, I couldn't feel that I belong anymore to those four walls. So I found something better. I was very good. I was having a very good moment of my life in that period. But I found something better. So when you have two things, you will go for what is better, right?
Absolutely.
So that's why I decided to live like this itinerary. You live in one house, in one place. I decided to live everywhere around the world, in this world, to discover it. Itinerary. I feel like I have a very nomad blood and nomad spirit. So I just want to live like this in the world.
So you're a world citizen.
I'm a world citizen, definitely. I don't feel that I belong anymore to a specific, of course, I have my passport and this, but I feel that I'm a world citizen.
And what inspired you to do this?
I say all the time that love made me do it. And love in all its shapes. But let's say that at the beginning it was the love for a man who was driving a motorcycle. Then it was the love for the motorcycle who brought me to the road. Then it was love for the road who brought me into the world. And finally, love for the world made me do it. And the world inspired me. So while I was on the road, I was receiving so much and I was so excited about, because I was not planning by that time. I was just putting, even now, it's not like I'm planning much, but a backpack, fuel in my tank, and gin, and go without knowing when I will reach, where I will reach in the evening. And so this feeling of living every present moment, every here and now, inspired me and made me do it. And then when I decided to start traveling more, deeper, let's say, I did a very short research and I found out that there is someone else doing, there are other people doing this. So the fact that someone else did it, it was enough for me to say, okay, I can do it as well.
Okay, and so is the world a lovely place? You're looking for, you said love made you do it. So are people lovely? How's the world?
The world is wonderful. The world is wonderful, and this is the very important and precious gift that I received from this life, to see this wonderful side of this world, the good side of this world, that we are bombed with this news, with bad news, that the world is going bad, that this bad thing happened here, this bad thing happened there. This doesn't mean that it's not happening. Of course, it's happening, but it's not only this. And me, I had the privilege and the chance to discover only the good side. It's not like I'm putting under the carpet, I'm hiding the bad side, but I am privileged and lucky to face and to meet only the good side of the world. Maybe because I'm focusing only on that. So there is so much good and so much beauty in this world and in people, that I'm on the other side. I'm on the side that says no, the world is not going so bad.
So I think a lot of that credit goes to you. I think you're a very good person. So you receive good vibes. When you give good vibes, you receive good vibes only.
I learned this because people started to give me, so I felt like in debt. I feel that I have to give back. So when someone gives you something good, it is your duty to give back, not necessarily to that person. Maybe you don't have the chance to give back to the same person that gave you something, but to someone else.
Pass it on.
Pass it on continuously. I always say when I did my first journey in Africa, I learned this. I was there with two open arms, with two open hands, one to receive and one to give.
Great.
All the time. The things are coming and going.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Tell me one thing. I mean, the world has changed a lot in the last 4-5 years. We had the pandemic, COVID. So, how was your experience during the COVID?
Yes, I was in my full journey. Let's say I started in August 2019. So pandemic started, let's say, in February, March 2020. So it was like 6 months I was on the road by that time. I just entered Saudi Arabia, which was a dream to achieve. When I started my journey, it was not possible to enter Saudi Arabia, to even take a visa for Saudi Arabia because of the restrictions for women to travel alone in that country. But somehow I knew that I would reach that place. I don't know why, and I didn't change my direction. So I went towards that direction. And something happened that meantime they relaxed the restriction while I was on the road, while I was in Turkey. So not only that I entered Saudi Arabia and I was the first woman entering alone with a motorcycle in the country, but I even got stuck there for 1 year during the pandemic. So what happened was when all this mess started, the panic and everything. Also, at the beginning, we didn't know, even here, it was the first curfew, the first lockdown. We didn't know if it would be for a few days, for 1 week, for 10 days. So we were just there expecting. Then when I saw that the things are going like very seriously, I said to myself, okay, the option is most of the foreigners and many of travelers that were all around the world, what they did, they took a flight and they went back home.
Over here, I'd like to tell you something interesting. She has a firm belief. She will not take any flight. She will not travel by air. She'll only travel by land or by sea. Yes. Any particular reason for that?
We'll reach that point.
Okay.
But for me, flying back home, not only about the flight, but back home, there was no more back home.
It was not an option.
There was no back home because when I started, I said from now on my home is on the road, so I didn't have any more home excepting going to my parents' house, of course, which is always. So I said to myself, okay, I'm here, so I will deal with this situation in the same way people from here are dealing with this situation. And people from the entire world are dealing with the situation. So I was there, I stayed in lockdown for 3 months. I was hosted by a family because another particularity of my journey is that I don't take any hotel.
Yeah, you don't take any hotels.
Yes, so
it's incredible.
I stayed with this family. We got corona, I got corona, all the family got corona. I healed and then the borders stayed closed for 1 year.
Okay.
But inside the country was open. So I traveled all around the country, each corner of that country I explored. So this is how I handled with the pandemic. I just took it normally. I said, this is what happens. It's not depending on me. I cannot go into depression that, oh my God, my journey is ruined. The world was going like people were dying and it was a mondial, the universal crisis, and I could not complain that, oh, my journey. So I just took it as...
So you just dealt with it?
I did, yes.
And interestingly, that is the time where she learned Arabic. It's crazy.
Yes.
That's where the linguist in her is. Okay, now, did you ever think of monetizing or making this journey commercial? Did that thought ever cross you? Because a lot of people do this, they take sponsorship from different companies, and your journey was so unique. First of all, without being a woman and doing this on a bike, traveling across the world, I mean, and people would have loved to come and support you commercially or sponsoring you. Did you ever think about that?
Yes, and in the second I gave up.
Okay.
So of course, at the beginning, when I was preparing my journey in Africa, I was thinking, yeah, I will be active in social media. And by that time, it was 2016, was not yet that much how is now the influencers and vlogging, and it was, but not yet
like
that much like today. So I was like, I will do this and that. I had some support for some companies to prepare my journey to Africa. I mean, like they, I don't know, a company offered me the bags or a company offered me the helmet, this type of support, no? Then when I started to leave the journey, I understood that it's not my cup of tea.
Okay.
I can't do it. I don't want to sell my life because, and especially now that it became that, in Africa it was just a journey. But then now it's my life. I don't want to sell my life. I don't want to depend on this, and I don't want to transform what I'm doing in something that I will commercialize.
Okay.
So I want to live it authentically without thinking that, oh, I have to film that, that will be a good moment for the blog, for the vlog. No, I want just to live.
So the nomad in you is the person,
yes.
right? Okay.
Then of course I have some partnerships, but in my terms. For example, I'm brand ambassador for a company that has the motorcycle gears, the garments and the helmets and everything. But they are just happy that I'm wearing their clothes around the world.
Okay.
So they are not interested in me advertising, making the influencer on the social media. This, yes, the short projects, yes, I go with the company, I do a campaign, I give the content to them, but I don't want to rely on followers to know if I don't post today, something will happen. I post just because I want to share with the world this amazing experience that I'm having. I post because I feel that it's my duty to talk about what beautiful thing happened with me, what amazing things these people gave me. So that's why I post mostly.
Now, that brings me to another important question. See, money is important, money is essential. So how do you manage, how do you manage your fuel, how do you manage your food, how do you stay, you said you stay with families and people. That's incredible, but how do you manage this?
Sometimes I don't know even. So there is a story, when I had this idea, I said, I don't care, but I know that I will do it. No matter what, I will do it. I didn't know how I will manage the budget, if I will have enough or not. I didn't care. I just knew that I will do it. So what I did, important for me was to have something to start with.
Okay.
So I had some savings, I sold my car, other belongings that I had, and I put together a small budget, a small initial budget, which really was very modest, very modest. In my plan was I think it will last me a few months, I don't know, of course less than a year, what I started. And with the plan, with the idea to work around.
Okay, so
already I was working back home as a freelancer. I was not employee. I didn't have a fixed job, a fixed salary every month. So I was already every month struggling for new projects, inventing myself. So I was like, the way I'm inventing myself work every month here, the same way I will do it itinerary on the road. So this was the initial plan. And then it happened that the journey gave me another big lesson that taught me a very minimalistic style of living, to detach on material things and to spend only on absolutely essential things. And for me now, essential things mean fuel, means paperwork, visas and permissions for the bike, food, some hygiene things, that's all. So this made my budget last much more than I expected. Then with the time, some collaborations arrived, some support arrived, but without relying on this.
Okay.
My idea was, when I don't have money anymore, I stop and I work. If I can't do my work, which is my profession, I will do many other things. I know how to do other things. So because I don't have any commitment, I'm completely free. And even this journey is not a commitment. I didn't say I start from point A to point B from this time to this time. So nobody is forcing me that is mandatory to reach a certain place. Whenever I can't anymore do it, I can just stop. I'm still young, I'm in good health, I can anytime. I don't think that I will be in that condition to don't have what to eat or to don't have where to sleep. So
I think that's a very important message here, minimalistic. Yeah, there's a big lesson for all of us here.
when you find fulfillment in another direction, the material things are something superficial. You don't need them anymore. And it's not like I'm craving for something, but no, I have to be careful to don't spend money because I need it for. I don't crave anymore. Only I spend and I want only essential things that are absolutely essential.
Okay.
Life is so simple and there are so many things that can fulfill you beside material things.
What a lovely lesson for all of us. Life can be simple if you keep it simple. Now, you've been through so many countries. Anything particular about the people and the culture you experienced?
Oh, so many things. So many things. The fact that I'm staying every time with people, this is my big dream to complete the journey, no matter where I will reach. But as long as I travel in this journey, I want to. My big dream is to do it like this, without any commercial accommodation, but only with people, creating this universal network of souls.
What a lovely thing.
This is how I call it, and I have this feeling of belonging everywhere. No, so I always pay attention to people, to every place I go, every culture, and I try to absorb everything. Sometimes I find myself walking the same way the ladies of that place walking because due to some, they're wearing some skirts or something that will determine a certain walk. Sometimes I find myself like this, sometimes I find myself talking with the accent of that place, doing the gestures of that place. And this is one of the most beautiful things I immerse myself into that place and I become like this, like them. So you're asking me about people and cultures. They are so diverse and I love so much to try at least little bit to become like them and to take the best out of every and each culture, civilization, religion, place, everything. I want to take what is the best.
And people too.
And people, absolutely, first of all, because my journey is not about riding, it's not about motorcycle, it's not even about tourism, the landscape. My journey is about people, mainly it's about people and connecting with them. Then motorcycle is the tool that brings me, and it was the engine that started everything, that made me discover this new life. And the motorcycle then is the vehicle, is the tool that brings me from a place to another and connects me with people. But people are the most important thing in my journey.
So the bike is the machine and the fuel is your passion.
Something like that, but bike is also soul.
Yeah,
there is also soul there.
Okay, now we will do something, a quick fire round, okay?
Please.
So I'll just ask you a very short question and you have to give me a quick answer and a short answer. So this is just, we add some fun for our viewers. Okay, now the best moment so far.
You make it difficult. There is no fast answer because this is the most difficult question. I cannot make it up. I don't have best moment.
Okay.
I don't have.
Fair enough. Okay.
All are best moments.
Okay. And the most dangerous moment.
Yeah. No, there is no dangerous moment.
Nothing?
There is no.
That's very good. Achha, do you miss anyone in your family?
Yes.
Do you miss anyone?
Yes, I miss with all my heart, all my family and my close friends, but now I miss all the people that I met on my journey.
So they're also your family now?
They are all my families and closest friends and even relationships that happened to have during that. So I miss everyone that is behind.
Beautiful. Okay, now you've already said that you miss your family. Now, if I may ask, did you meet anyone during this journey, with whom perhaps you would have liked to spend the rest of your life? Is that a tricky one?
No, it's not tricky one. But I met.
Okay.
But if I'm now here, that means that maybe from both sides was not this desire to spend the rest of my life, of our lives, because I'm here and I'm not there. But yes, it happened to also to.
Okay,
to
that's
meet
nice.
them.
Yeah, that's what people are all about.
Yes.
Okay, now the final quick fire one. One change you would love to see in this world.
The bad. It's too generic, I know, but the bad to be less and less and less, and the good to be more and more and more and more. And everything depends on us, and everything depends on mothers to teach their kids to be good, to be gentle. The generosity can change the world. Generosity in all the shapes. Generosity in terms of emotion, in terms of acceptance of the diversity, the generosity in time, the generosity in material, generosity in everything can change the world.
Wow, that's such a beautiful thing to say. And one last thing. Do you think it would have been easier if you were a man?
No.
Yeah, I expected that answer.
No.
So
Actually, I will admit that because I am a woman, sometimes it's easier. Many times it's easier.
Absolutely, I agree with you. So friends,
But sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know if it will.
all yours.
This is very important, and I always want to mention it. For me, it won't be easier if I'm a man. But for many women in this world, in many societies and in many cultures, it is, if not impossible, much more difficult because they are women and not men. For me, it is easy and easier because I'm privileged, I'm free, I don't have any restrictions. I come from a culture that gives me freedom. I have a good passport, but this is not the same for other women in this world.
Wow, that's very important. Guys, friends, the amazing Alina here with us. Thank you so much for your time. I'm sure we are going to read a book on you, or maybe a movie. Maybe we'll see you in a Hollywood star doing a movie of your journey.
For the moment, I prefer to share my story like this, from house to house, from heart to heart. Yes.
Thank you so much for being on Kanak TV. Thank you so much, Alina.